So this is the merchant webinar for your guys' the Grange Local Community Gift Card program. So pretty much the whole takeaway after this is you should be able to understand why this program works and why it can work for you and what it could do for you as a business owner, and have next actionable steps in making sure your entire team is on board with the program and you're marketing and promoting this program to increase the amount of redemptions that you receive in your business. So like I mentioned, nothing too formal. If you guys have any questions, you can just shout them out. Of course, at the end, we'll also have time for questions as well. So to begin, my name is Tyson. I'm UFD's Community Engagement Manager. So essentially my role, I'm pretty much responsible for making sure your guys' program runs as successfully as possible, and all the merchants participating, you guys, are able to make it work for you specifically as successfully as possible. So jumping right into it. So what the program is, it's a digital gift card program that's a closed network, so it could only be redeemed at the participating businesses in LaGrange. So these are redeemed as virtual MasterCards, and you, the merchant, get paid the same way as a normal credit card. So there's no collecting of paper receipts and stuff like that with traditional paper chamber check programs, nothing like that. So this program is completely free. So there's no cost for all of you participating businesses, absolutely free. There's no cancellation fees, anything like that. And this is, like I mentioned, a closed network. So it's limited to only you invited local merchants. So if I have a card for your local community, I could try to go redeem it on Amazon, but it's just going to decline. They're only going to be accepted at you participating merchants. So it's super easy to implement as well. So it works with any POS system, provided you can accept MasterCards and manual POS entries. So there's no special equipment or integration needed to join and operate on this program. So what can this do for you specifically? So one of the cool things, so I think I mentioned this before we actually started recording, but this can bring new funds to your business that you would have never seen before. So we have the ability to have bulk purchases from universities, for employee rewards, other large employers or organizations. Now, oftentimes it's for Christmas gifts and things like that for their employees, or just giveaways and things like that, which are funds that you would otherwise not have seen due to the employers buying something else for the employees for gifts. So it puts a lot of funds on these cards for you to be able to redeem in your store. Now, additionally, right over here, you see a 51% collaborative growth. So we've hosted a couple different surveys, and what we found is that 51% of these card holders are going to new businesses that they've never been to before. So what that means is you're not getting the same customers in your store, just using a different payment method. We're getting new customers, new business, and of course, new opportunities to be able to create new regular customers. Now, additionally, we have the ability to show you to the cent how much money you've been able to redeem on this program, but the hidden metric you don't really see is that on average, there's a 30% more revenue in an over expenditure on each card. So let's say, for example, you redeemed $10,000 since you've been on the program. What we don't track and what you can't really see is on average, there'll be an extra $3,000 being spent at your store just for the main fact of that extra foot traffic coming in. So hopefully this isn't too foreign to you guys here. So this is how you join on. You just have to run a simple activation card. So it's just a 10-cent manual POS entry. So you just log in these 16-digit codes, the expiration, and CVV. Now, of course, if you didn't receive an activation card or you need an additional one for your, say, an additional POS system, you just contact support@ufd.com or your program organizer, either or, and we'll go ahead and send it out for you. Now, you manually enter the activation card's number, expiration, CVV. So when you're doing that, you're opting into the program. So you're going to be showing up on that map of participating merchants, and you're also agreeing to the merchant agreement. Now, if you have multiple different POS systems with different POS identifying numbers, or you switch POS systems, you're going to need to run the activation card again. So of course, then go ahead and request more at support@ufd.com. So this is how we create that closed network. So any merchant who runs this 10-cent MasterCard activation card here is going to enroll into the program. So you cannot join and accept these redemptions unless you do this. Now, sometimes we have POS systems who have a dollar minimum. If that's the case for you, go ahead and run the same transaction for $1. The transaction is going to decline, but we'll still be able to gather what we need to enroll you and let you participate on the program. So within 24 hours of running that activation card, you're going to be able to see your business on the map of participating businesses. So this is what the cards are going to actually look like when a customer comes in to redeem them. So you see the digital version here. You'll see the authorized for up to amount here. So you're just going to manually enter that 16-digit code, the expiration and CVV into your POS system. and MasterCard. So these are redeemed by MasterCard. It's going to validate that transaction immediately, which means you get paid the same time, the same way as you would any other credit card purchase. So the current balance is reflected on all electronic gift cards. So you want to make sure you're not charging more and do not use this for tips unless it's authorized with the bill. So say this is a $20 authorized for up to amount. If I spent $50, the card is now going to reflect $150. So on all digital versions, you'll be able to see how much funds is left on the card. So there's no, asking the customer, there's no logging in the 16-digit code to look it up online to see how much funds are left. You can see it right here. So of course, if there's only $150 left, for instance, you can't go buy something for $160 because you don't have enough funds. So you would just run the $150 on this card and then go ask, excuse me, and then ask for another $10 from, cash or some other form of payment method. Now that's the same reason we ask that you don't use these for tips, because oftentimes we'll see, say, a $200 card into a restaurant. They have a $200 bill. Of course, they can cover that, but then when you add a $10 tip on top of it, it's going to decline because there's not enough funds to cover on the card. So if it's authorized with the bill, say it's a $150 order or something, I do a $50 tip. It's still under that $200 amount or equal to it. So the transaction can go ahead and go through. So like I mentioned, you're going to get paid the same as you would any other MasterCard transaction. So nothing changes for you on that front. Now, these are what the cards will look like if they're printed to be redeemed in your business. So it's the same thing as the ones above here. The only difference is this authorized for up to amount obviously cannot be changed because it's on a printed piece of paper. So what you're going to want to do is ask either the customer, or you can do it yourself and scan this QR code here, which will take you directly to the digital version here. So there's no logging in, there's no signing up, nothing like that. Once you scan the code, it takes you directly to the digital version where you can then see how much funds are left on the card. So at this point, you should be aware, hey, this program can generate and be another form of revenue for your business. You know how to activate, and hopefully you're activated onto the program. Now you're able to accept these redemptions. So the next step is to train your employees, because who are the ones who's going to be redeeming these cards? Your employees. So we have a couple of resources within this little PowerPoint here, which we'll send out to everybody afterwards, in which you can click all these links and see these different documents and stuff you can hang up among your establishment so employees can look through it every now and then. So you want to make this card redemption process a part of your regular employee training. So when you onboard a new employee, make sure you're overviewing this program and how to redeem them with the employee. We also advise you check in with them every quarter or so and train new staff so they're ready to accept these cards. So again, it's a manual POS entry. It's the same thing as a phone in order. So as long as they're aware of how to do that, just mention the program and that you guys are participating so your employees aren't scared or caught off guard when somebody comes in to redeem one. So like I mentioned, you can print this how to redeem document and the reason gift cards get declined document and post them on walls where your employees will be able to see them. You can also send this merchant training video to all of your employees so they can see firsthand visually what it looks like to accept these cards. Alrighty, so now your business is activated onto the program. Your employees are trained on it. So now it's about getting more redemptions because, of course, more marketing and promoting that you're going to put out means more redemptions on these cards and thus more revenue for you as a business owner. So first, we have a gift card link that you can add to your website. So it could either be the custom code for a button or a specific link. Now you're just going to link it back to the sales page because the more card sales that are on this program, it's more business for you, being that you have the more opportunity to redeem these funds. So the more funds on the program itself is more money that you were able to redeem. So you want to spread the word about the program in store, to your customer mailing list over email, on your website and social media as well. So again, the more promotion that this program gets, the more eyes on it, the more sales, thus the more revenue for you as well. Alrighty, so here's some signage that we have, and I'm not sure if you guys currently have some. So if you don't, you can reach out to your program organizer, or we have templates that you can customize yourself and print out and use. So this is really good, especially on main streets or a storefront that has a lot of foot traffic in front of it. You can slap this window cling on the inside of it. So if I'm walking by and I have a Grange card in my phone or something, I see the sign, it rings a bell in my head. Hey, I have a couple of dollars left. I'm going to get in there and redeem my card now. So we also have a ton of different social media posts and email templates that you can use as well. So clicking through this link will take you to custom social media posts like this one here. So you always want to include QR codes or some sort of action to bring the viewer back over to actually buy a card. So again, that's more promotion. Now blast it to your customer email list. So use this email template we have to let your mailing list know that your business accepts a community card program. You also want to regularly send them updates, deals, and other program happenings. So it's really big around the holidays, around times where you may have, large amounts of funds going onto this program through bulk orders or things like that. So at that time, there's going to be a lot of funds there. So now's the time to start reaching out and marketing, doubling down, getting after it super hard. So anybody in the community who might be having these cards and might also be on your mailing list or followers, they know that you redeem them. Alrighty, so far we've covered pretty much onboarding, getting activated onto the program, training your merchants, marketing. And so the last thing that you really want to be mindful about is driving additional incentives to bring the redeemers into your store. So at this point, there should be a large amount of businesses in your area who are currently accepting these redemptions. So what's going to make them redeem it at your business over another one? So these incentives that you can kind of release. So first off, we have discounts. So you could have offers or discounts on products, services, or experiences for purchases made specifically with this card. So this could be simply buy one, get one free fries or something at your restaurant if you're redeeming the Grange Community Gift Card. You can have giveaways. So you could host giveaways for community events and purchases made with the card in your store. So sometimes we see like Shop Small Saturday, where every Saturday a specific merchant will do, hey, the third person who redeems our community card, we're going to give them a free appetizer or something like that. You have limited offers. So create limited offers to increase redemptions at peak seasons and when promotions are offered. So again, this is for those times where you get notified of a big bulk order going on the program, the holidays, Valentine's Day, things like that. So whenever any time comes around where gift card purchases may be a larger thing among your community with current trends, that's when you want to start having those offers and things to increase these redemptions. Now, lastly, you can have exclusive deals. So offer customers exclusive deals, access, or experiences when they redeem their card at your store. So for example, something we've had with this was a merchant who they had a really nice patio space outside of their restaurant. Now I believe it was Thursday or Friday, they would only let the community card redeemers have access to that space. So in kind of incentivizing and making it a prestige experience to be able to dine at that specific spot alone with only people who are redeeming the cards, you create a little bit of an atmosphere around it and incentivize those redemptions as well. So a couple of frequently asked questions we see. I'm sorry that the text got a little bit messed up. I think it changed from the different screens this was made on. But if you need support, you can email support@yifty.com. So we provide prompt email support at 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So I believe that's 9 to midnight Eastern. Now, if you can't provide the 16-digit card number, if that's something in relation to your inquiry in the email, if possible, it'll just help us make sure we can help you quicker. So the support line does have an average response of 3 minutes and an average resolution of 5 minutes. So you'll be well taken care of whenever you email support. So are there any fees? So like I mentioned, the community card program is completely free for you merchants. The only thing that you might pay is the regular MasterCard card not present fee. So the card not present fee for, example is 0.5% to 1% higher. So to put that into perspective, it's roughly 25 cents to 50 cents on a $50 purchase. And that's not in addition, that's in replace of your normal credit card processing fee. So this doesn't go to Yifty or anything like that. It's just MasterCard's card not present fee. Now, how do you get the current card balance? So like I mentioned, the digital card's on the phones, so it can't be a screenshot. It has to be the actual digital card. It is always going to show the current balance. Now, if you print it or something like that, you can scan the QR code, or as a last-ditch effort on yifty.com or your sales page, there's the balancing, the old-fashioned like Visa gift card thing where you just tap in the 16-digit code, and it'll show you how much funds are left on the card. So if your card is declined, we see that this happens if you're charging more than the available card balance. So in that case, you're just going to split between two different payment methods. Now it's also going to decline if you change your POS or your credit card processing system. So of course, at that point, just contact support at yifty.com. We'll send you a new activation card to register your system. Now, if there isn't enough money on your card, so if your purchase is greater than the available balance on the card, you're going to do that split tender transaction. So you're going to go ahead and run it for the balance of the card for the community card, and then ask for another form of payment method to continue and pay off the rest of that transaction. Now, how do you know how much business you're getting? So like I mentioned, we have the ability to show you to the cent how much funds you've been able to redeem. So you get paid like you would any other MasterCard. Look for transactions starting 519975. So that shows that MasterCard, and the additional 75 is a EFT community card. Now, of course, not many business owners are going to want to look through and find each different thing. So you can go ahead and just ask your program organizer or email us at support@eft.com. Just let us know your business name and the program you're a part of, and we'll send you out the report on what you've been able to redeem so far. Now, how are you, as a business owner, protected from fraud? So when we issue a card, we absolutely guarantee that it is valid. So as long as you're not charging more than the available balance. So we assume all of the fraud risk upon card purchase. If there's any time that there may be a chargeback or something like that, we take the bite on that. So you guys are absolutely liable for nothing, which is always great. Alrighty, so that kind of wraps up the entire webinar. Just to cover everything we went through so far, this program well, to start off, it's completely free for you to take part in. So there's really, really low barrier there. It's super easy to implement just by running an activation card on your POS system. Now it brings a ton of new foot traffic and dollars into your business that normally wouldn't be there before, which is always a great thing. So once you get activated onto the program, all you have to do then is make sure your employees are trained up on it and then market and promote it and make sure, of course, that everybody's redeeming the cards when they come in. So I'd love to give you guys a second now to ask any questions that you might have.